Yo, it's not Richie and Team. We back with another video, you feel me? It's LockedNJaay. It's Big J. Now, you feel me? We got another guest today. Special guest.
So that's what you go by? You go by Katt?
Yeah.
Or...
I used to go by Kathy, but Katt just fit. So I just
I fuck with that. Yeah. Let's just dive into it. Like,
I said no book.
No, God. So you're a model. You're one of like, I feel like you're like a signature model around here at least. Like you're the only one I could say. Well, like you know, I'm saying like, and yeah, definitely in like around the people we know, you're the only nigga that I know that's modeling. Like so,
actually.
Like for and taking it serious. So
like be taking photos on a consistent basis and shit like that.
Yeah, God, and then the photos be fire too. The photos be they be good quality. Like I'm not gonna lie. So
I be trying. You know, I try to be picky now. I used to not be picky before, but I'm trying to be more picky with like the photographers I choose and just like, I guess my faces and my poses, so I can like become, I don't know, the top. I guess instead of just being like an aspiring model, whatever.
Right. I fuck with that. So I mean, you know, your people be asking you, and I mean, we all want to know how you get into modeling.
Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me how I get into modeling. I don't know the true way of getting into modeling. I just think it's on your own. I literally just told myself I'm a model. Like I didn't even go through the inspiring model phase or anything like that. Like I literally said, I'm a model. I went on my Instagram one day, changed everything to fashion model, started applying to different websites, just putting my stuff up there saying, hey, can I do this? A TFP, time for print, and all that. It just happened.
So what does that mean, time for print?
What's that?
So time for print is something I didn't know at first as well, but it's like when you and a photographer just collab for a photo shoot, but it's completely free. It's just for both of you guys' portfolio.
So what is it like to like travel around and like actually doing?
So
where you get the places and stuff?
So I think I actually got really lucky with that because I just started modeling and directors and photographers are already flying me out to like places like New York City, Denver. And I just think that's all just with good marketing. Like it's all a business at the end of the day. But I have fun with it, so you know.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's important.
No, God. So you like, what's the most like lit place you traveled to?
The littest place I've traveled to?
Like the one you had the most fun.
Yeah.
I haven't traveled everywhere yet, but I love New York so much.
New York.
I just love the city in general. Like it's something about everyone just doing their own thing and not caring about what you do. It's like, I love it. And everything staying up late. You know, because the staff and everything goes at like 9.
Bro.
Did you ever move there?
Where?
New York.
I would if driving was easier.
Yeah.
Like
New
York driving is.
What's so bad about it though?
What do you mean
I'm a driver in it. It's
See,
not that bad. Like
they be lying.
Yeah, it was more hectic than obviously here, but like it's not as bad as people think it is.
That shit is horrible.
I don't know. I was in
Traffic is OC. Like I would say the traffic is terrible, but like driving they just crazy. You just gotta watch out for the crazy shit. You just driving in that motherfucker.
They don't care. They don't care.
What are the pros and cons you feel like a modeling?
So first I'm gonna do the cons. I'm not gonna remember everything off the bat, but I know with cons, there's a lot of insecurity, competition, and a lot of directors and photographers just giving you a bunch of criticism because I don't know, they're just trying to find out who has the toughest mentality to do the job instead of just like picking any random model.
Right.
So
go ahead.
So what are they necessarily critiquing?
Right.
So I think what they critique is based on the job, what kind of look they want. Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, I only want a Caucasian female with less than 36-inch waist, something like that.
So it's like really specific
yeah,
type shit.
Sometimes it's specific, sometimes it's not, and it just has to be like an African American around this age range, like or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I want to ask, so like, how you like really like apply yourself and like, and or we'll get into this later, like in a few minutes. But yeah, how you just like you just look it up on the internet or like.
Honestly, yeah, I haven't had any like mentors or anybody like
You
tell me
just
this is
pure
how I do
pure
it.
from you. You just go on the internet and you do it yourself.
I look it up. I search up who like is the best at photography. I go on magazines trying to look for like the best photographers and models. Try to, I guess, not copy them, but like look up to them,
Right.
so I know like what to do.
And so with that means you get like 100% every like if you get paid from it, it's 100% straight to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Cause I was asking that cause like I act, so it's like I have a whole agent that does the shit for me, and like he'll take like if I get a role or something, he'll take a percentage type shit. So it's interesting to like know that you do it by yourself, and then you get 100% of the earnings type shit, which is cool. Like, that's lit. It's kind of like when we was talking to Eli, like he's an independent artist, so he gets 100% of his shit. It's lit.
Yeah, that's definitely why I haven't left the freelance, and went into like an agency.
I was about to say, yeah, you sent me that topic. Let's talk about that. What's the difference?
The difference is, of course, a freelance, you keep 100% of the profit. With an agency, I believe they either take 10, 20%, depending on what project it is.
Right.
And I just, like, for me, when I choose an agency, I want the top of the top. I don't even just want, like, a little agency down in, like, Richmond or something like that. Not saying that's a bad thing. I just have higher standards.
Like shit.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Richmond, yeah. If you want the best of the best, you like. If you want to be the best of the best, you gonna get the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Just like.
What are the pros of it
I didn't
that you like about it?
I love just the idea of traveling. Like, I've always wanted to travel ever since I was little. I love being the face of anything, like being in front of the camera. Like, I've always loved that. I always pose, always smiling. What else? And just meeting like new people and networking, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, once you get to know like a lot of different people, like, hey, I could go to New York. Oh, I got like 5 friends up there I can stay with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like really cool.
Yeah, I can definitely understand you on that. I just met some people from New York in my business, so it's like, so now if I go to Brooklyn, I could be like, yo, like, where y'all at?
Nah, facts.
So it's good.
Just having
networking.
connection
Gotta get the
everywhere.
connection.
Oh God.
Yeah, having connections. So like, alright, so do you feel like that's a big thing in modeling? Having your connections, like having connections.
Yeah. That's a huge thing, because if you don't, like, the big agencies, the reason why they're always known, they go to the biggest fashion shows, they're on Vogue or anything, is because of connections. It's because of who they know and who they can get to know, if that makes sense.
Alright, that's a big thing in just this world in general. Like, it's not about nothing. It's about who the fuck you know and how the fuck you can just, do what you do,
Yeah, networking is so important in modeling, like, very important.
Right.
That should be the number one thing.
Yeah, we had a what does Nisha do? She does. I think she just manages models.
She manages people and then like
like
hosts.
an agency?
Like she does it by herself.
Right.
And like she does hosting and then she manages like models and consultants. That's what she said.
But she was saying that like just same thing you're saying, like it's very important to network and get to know people, etc. etc.
Very, very important. I used to be like so shy and try to like get into this, but then I was like, I'm moving too slow.
Oh God,
So,
bro! I'm telling you, like we've had this conversation before. It was like, we were at a party, like, or not a party, but it was like a talent show type shit, or whatever the fuck. And we were like, yeah, that's not really our scene, but we gotta get to know this, and that's just what it is. So.
I don't know, I just want to relax, be myself always. I don't want to be like a robot or anything. Like, I want to be different and make myself stand out.
Nah, fuck that.
Like with the hair.
Yeah.
Then
No,
you
God, you do
like,
stand out with the hair. So I just thought about that. Like, no female around here got that hair. Like, just the puff.
Yeah, oh God. I have not seen that in a while.
I want it to get forward, like really long, like.
On some
it would be really different. And you would really be out there.
Yeah, that'll look good.
I heard you say in the beginning you were like you picky with your photographers. Like, what are you looking for in a photographer? Like, what's something that you're like, okay, he's okay, but he's not.
Okay,
That's
what
a
I
good question.
look for is, 1, a lot of work. 2, for me to actually like talk to the models that have worked for you. If you don't like send me your models or like send me like your portfolio or anything, I'm not gonna believe that you worked on this before, so I'm not gonna work with you. There's a lot of creepy photographers in Virginia. Well, there's a lot of creepy photographers in general, but like that's why you have to do your research. Actually, maybe talk to the person first, and probably bring a friend. Like just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because we don't do no creepy stuff.
No. I couldn't imagine niggas being creepy.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
I've
niggas
been
be
through it.
weird.
I've been through it.
You've been through it.
Tell us the crazy. Like, you might as well tell us the crazy
you
shit
care to
that
explain.
you had to go
So there was no super crazy stuff because like I've never let it go that far.
through. Right. You smart.
I always got like
Nothing
yeah.
more.
I always got my
Business
pepper
is
spray, you know, my taser on me in case anything, you know, you know. One of my first couple photo shoots where I didn't really know anything or which direction or where to go. Like there was this photographer that I shot with, and he immediately just said, "Okay, now take your clothes off." And I was like, I was shy. I was like, "What?" Like we never discussed me being nude, and he was like, "Take your clothes off. You're a model. You're supposed to do this." I was like, "That's okay."
Hell no.
I left.
So, and then that's the thing too. Are you? Because I know you're probably one of the few around here independent females. Like, you don't like how do you handle some shit like that? Because like, let's say you were related to me and somehow if we were like close friends or girlfriend or whatever, like nigga, I'm on that shit. Like personally, like you know what I'm saying. So it's like, how do you do that shit by yourself? You just like.
So it's just like at the end of the day, like I know that I just got me, like no matter what. So if I feel like I didn't want anything to stop my career or what I love doing, so I was just like, okay, let me backtrack, let me see what happened and what I did wrong on my part, so I won't do it again and have to talk to people like that again.
Right.
So.
You smart, bro. Like I fuck with that.
Backtracking steps and shit.
Oh God.
Because I was like, it wasn't all his fault, because that's probably what he does with his other models, but it was my fault of not knowing, like, who I was talking to, what exactly was going on, and what he was expecting.
Right.
So, that's very important.
People in general, like, how'd you grow? You said you sent me it. You was like, how'd you grow so fast or whatever?
Yeah. So I think that would just have to do with networking.
Right.
And appearing everywhere you can be. Like I have, like it's not huge music videos, but I've been in like several that are still like they're editing it right now.
Right.
I've been in a commercial coming out next year, and just like different like photographers around the DMV area. It's just having them post your picture, you posting your picture, you know.
How you grew is just basically networking, right?
Yeah, networking and marketing online, especially around social media, like things like Model Mayhem, All Casting, Backstage, even Instagram, Facebook, joining Facebook groups. I did a lot to try to put myself out there, and now I got connections, so.
I fuck with that.
How did you get into your first commercial?
First commercial, I believe, was actually... No, it was on Instagram. So on Instagram, for all my photos, I used a bunch of, like, hashtags. And people find me from those hashtags. So, like, there's some people that say I'm crazy for putting all these hashtags on my pictures, but people actually find me from those hashtags.
Low-key dropping gems around.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh my god, I love your look. Do you have time to do this? Are you available on this time? It's a paid thing, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I just ask all the questions. They ask me all the questions, and then it was a go.
Do you make a lot of reels too? Because I know that's a big thing with what I do. Like,
reels?
Yeah, making reels will really get you exposure a lot.
I need to start doing that.
Like, I know I just made a shake at the shop from where I work at, and it got almost like 4,000 views. Just a shake. Like, I wasn't even in there.
Do you have a TikTok too?
Yeah.
I need to start posting more. That's something I need to do too.
Get yourself out there for real. You could put all your videos together and edit it together, like all your photo shoots.
Yeah.
Or some
And
crazy shit.
once I do more fashion shows, I will put that up there too. So stay tuned.
Nah, God, that's a fact for the real shit because I've learned that too. Like you just gotta put your shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you put your shit everywhere and it's gonna connect.
Like,
That might be
like-
annoying,
Like
but
what you call it? Like I know they say Fashion Nova makes like 24 posts a day.
they do.
Like they post one thing every hour.
Shoot.
That's why they're so
I mean,
exposed. They say if you post 30 times a day on Instagram, you'll blow up.
30 times a
If you
day.
post 30 times every day for a month, you will blow up like that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can do that.
But
Yeah,
you have
nah,
to post
so you
30
gonna
times.
want
I be
it. You
forgetting.
gonna want that
Yeah, I be forgetting to
badly.
post pictures.
on one account too, because I
Yeah.
could do it on different accounts. So this is like, yeah,
I
oh
don't know
God.
what you're saying, though. Like, like, how far do you want to take this? Like, what's your top goal?
My top goal is to be a supermodel. Like, I am going to be a supermodel.
Walk
like,
the
I already
runway and all.
Huh?
Walk the runway and all.
I'll walk the runway and all. Like, I'm
Respect.
5'8". I'm not as tall. I'm not short. But
We was just
I
talking
can
about
do
that.
it.
We was just
I
we
can
was
do it.
just talking about that. So you're 5'8". Is that like a different? It's definitely different for a lot of models, right? Does that help you get differentiated? I guess the word is from other models and stand out.
Yeah, like 100%. And what else differentiates me from other models is the fact that I usually wear a fresh face. Like I don't, like it's not wrong to wear any makeup at all, but most high fashion, I guess people, directors, photographers, they're looking for a fresh look. They're
Like
looking
more
for,
authentic.
yeah, authentic, you know, just natural beauty.
Right.
But nothing's wrong with makeup, so. I wanna be like Winnie Harlow. I wanna be up there, like,
Like you want to get verified on Instagram, like
Yes.
or those things too.
yes, I wanna talk to everyone. I wanna know everyone. I wanna see how I can get there the fastest.
Right.
Cause I'm already on track. Like, I just gotta meet the right person. The right person has to meet me, and that's it. That's really all it is.
Do you have any inspirations? Like you said who? Who?
Winnie Harlow,
Uh-huh.
Zendaya, and then I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I post her a lot. She looks like me.
Where?
I feel like
I think
you've
I
seen
might
it.
have seen you post her. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
I
those
love
are your
her.
biggest inspirations.
Oh, Tyra Banks too.
Alright,
Yeah,
Have
I
to.
know
Have
Tyra
to.
right there.
Have to.
So, what ethnicity are you?
I'm African American and Salvadorian.
We enjoying. We thought he thought he was Puerto Rican. I thought he was Dominican.
Yeah.
But
Dominican.
we was trying.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, we was trying to
Hold on.
differentiate.
Does that play a factor too? Like,
Um,
you feel like?
Is there colorism?
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I don't know if like they're not racist, but some they're not like there are some racists. Like there's a photographer that actually told me I don't usually work with black girls, but since you're mixed, I will make an exception.
Yeah, and I saw you post about
Yeah,
that.
and I was like, okay. But other than that, I just feel like they look for a certain look that they're trying to copy so they can put it on art, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Do you feel like age is another thing too?
Asians?
No, not Asians. Age, like.
Oh, Asians?
Yeah.
Age is definitely, yeah, it's definitely a thing. I think the younger you look is like, I guess the better. But there are like older models, it's just you rarely see them. Or they're not doing as big things. Or they like stop because they started life.
What do you think? Like, you said you think what's the good starting age? You think people like whoever wants to be a model or?
Ooh, I would say 16 to like 26. I feel like it's a good age range, and then after that, you just have to keep pushing. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep pushing. So I'm not stopping this. Everyone that's always said, "Oh, what are you gonna do afterwards?" I'm not stopping nothing.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that. You're not stopping. Like, you definitely came a long way. Motherfucking, you've had the 9 to 5s, all that shit. You've been through it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so how do you do you get motivation from that just to keep going through this type shit?
Yeah, I grab motivation from one, my childhood.
Right.
The 9 to 5s that I don't want to work anymore.
Right.
People telling me what to do. Like, I just want to, like, show up and make my own money in my own time. Like, I don't need to come there at 9 a.m. Like, I want to come at 1 p.m. Like,
right.
fuck you. Like,
oh, God.
No, I feel that.
Before you asked us, like, before we started filming, he was like, I don't know, how y'all in Stafford? So, is that like a big thing for, like, do you think for models or just in people in the industry in general for them to get outside of their hometown? Do you think that helped you grow?
Yes. Well, getting out of my hometown helped me grow as a person in general.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do believe it has something to do with modeling as well, like being closer to the bigger cities like DC, New York, LA,
right.
Atlanta. So like whenever a last minute casting call comes, you can just be like, okay, I'll be there tomorrow.
Right.
At that time, if you're gonna pay me that much, cool. You know.
So what would you say is like your dream shoot? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a perfect setup. It's everything set up perfectly, down to snacks and all that. You feel me? Because I know y'all be in there long.
Oh yeah. So my perfect shoot, I think, would be literally in Jamaica, somewhere on an island, just where there's natural lighting, you know, a sunset, me in like a cute bikini, you know, modeling for a swimwear line, being on Vogue, you know,
Right.
something like that. And then I guess for my favorite snack on set is a sub.
Yeah.
Subs.
He told us, you said you like the subs and the goddamn cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, eating habits. Like, do you
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah.
Like, is there any precautions you take to like look how you look or whatever? Like, you know, just for models.
For models in general, there might be like, depending on who you're working with, there might be a diet, but I have a fast metabolism, so I've always ate like
Whatever.
yeah, like I would eat like a whole box of pizza, like large, fast. So it just depends on my mood, really, honestly.
Really, like, do you take like just care of your skin?
Yes,
What's your skin routine?
Yeah.
So, every morning when I wake up, well, first let me say this: all I drink is water, nothing else.
You don't drink no juice, none of that.
Okay, juice.
See,
I do drink like orange juice, you know, on occasions, and try to drink like pineapple juice or like maybe like something healthy, just something
not
healthy.
too bad,
You know?
right.
You know?
I was gonna say, there's no way you drink water, just like, yeah.
No, sometimes when I want flavor, I'll drink
Right.
some juice, but
Same.
water is like I have to stick to it.
Right?
Yeah, it just makes me feel a lot better.
Be
And
hydrated, be good to go.
Yeah, and I stopped drinking soda too. So.
Hell yeah. Soda's bad for you. That shit is
Hell
disgusting
bad.
too.
How did you feel about your first? Like, how did your first like lingerie shoot go about?
So my first lingerie shoot, it was my that was my very first shoot.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like really nervous. I was like I remember waiting outside, just like my stomach just so like, should I go inside? Should I go inside? I don't know. Because I didn't know like if he was gonna be like really creepy, if I was gonna really hate it or really love it. But after a while, he made me feel comfortable. So yeah, and it was my first time.
What do you think is something for like, you know, other models out there, to look out for?
Definitely, like I said earlier, the creepy photographers, the really like, of course there's like rude people in the industry, but the really rude people, like, you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like they will always just replace you. Things happen, just keep going to the next. Like,
Right.
I get rejected a lot, and I still, like, the fact that I keep applying, and then I know eventually somebody's gonna want me for that day and pay me that much. And another thing is the scams, on like the email scams. because I almost got.
I saw you post about that. Actually.
Yeah, I almost got scammed $2,500 for being in an Adidas commercial.
Yeah, nah. Well, so how they try to scam you? How does that even work?
Yeah.
All right, so they sent me an email telling me this commercial is gonna happen, blah blah blah. Choose which day to do it. There's no nudity. It was just basically like an email, like just telling you like the basics of what's going on, but there was no real like website or photographer or whatever.
Right.
So he told me to send in my information, and I sent in only like a little bit of my information, not all of it. And he then sent me a fake check in the mail. I went to go cash it in because I didn't know what a fake check looked like. And then they were about to, I forgot what they was about to do. Or they was about to call police or something. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what did... I'm confused. And then they were like, this is a fake check. And I was like, okay, well, I got it from this person. Yeah. So I didn't know.
Yeah, you was scared like shit, weren't you? I bro, they like, what, like, how, nigga, hell no. If they tried to call the police on you, like, nah, yeah, that's how they got me, nigga. They set me up. They said, nah, we're not gonna.
I found that shit on the floor,
bro, that shit crazy.
I don't know who wrote it, but it was not me. I'm just passionate.
Damn, imagine that though. Like they ended. It's crazy because they went out their way to send you that check.
Right, like they was scamming.
Yeah, so like they have to do this to somebody else, which I feel bad for. So when I explained the situation to them, they said that this happened a lot of the time, and I didn't know it happened a lot of the time. So I went to call that bank that was on the check. They said it was fake, there was no real address, blah, blah, blah. So I went to call the person that actually sent me the email. He started yelling at me. He was like, oh, leave the bank, blah, blah, blah. They're telling you bullshit. Just do mobile deposit. It'll be good. And honestly, what that would have done was... And he wanted me to send it right away to him. So that would have just left me negative $2,500 in my account. After sending him money.
Man, he busting 2,500. Yeah. Nigga, 2,500.
Oh my god.
Niggas is trying to win.
Oh, you, bro.
Nah, that's fucked up.
So how does it go? Like, so do you like tell them like how much you want to make, or like do they be like, you're gonna make this with this many photos, like?
It depends on the photographer and what kind of project it is. There are photographers that like hit on my DMs asking like, hey, what are your rates? I really like your look.
Right.
Or there could be like, let's say like a short film casting, and they'll be like, okay, you get paid this much if you come for this amount of time. So, yeah, it just really depends on the project.
So what would you say are good like rates for like upcoming models to say that like photographers starting out?
I think this was what like really confused me, because I never really knew like how it was supposed to go since I started all this on my own. But I believe the starting out rate for a model is $50 an hour. I think so. And then once you start getting more experience, it goes up to 75, 100, and then yeah, the more you get out there, you can raise your rates. So I'm not going to say my rates because
you said
we don't
what?
know what's going to happen. I said I'm not going to say my rates because we don't know what's going to happen.
Nah, got it.
So
yeah. 3,000 an hour.
God, they said 50 starting off.
But that's low, right?
That's probably like the models in the agencies. They be like, okay, if you go for this day, it's 3,000, and then
that shit crazy.
The whole week, you don't got nothing else to do.
Would you ever act? Like, I just want to know. Like, I figured you would, but...
Oh, so I actually did start acting. I count music videos as acting as well. Well, the kind of music videos that I was in. And I was actually in a short film that's gonna come out in December, I believe. It was like a little short film in DC, but I loved it. I want to do more too.
So you would play like a big role?
Yeah, I'll play a big role if they really want me to. Like, they wanted me as the main character for that role, and that was like, I didn't even act or anything. That's when I started modeling. I was like, okay, he just liked my look, so I guess I'm here. But I could do like background if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was my only last question.
Appreciate you, Katt. You know.
Thank you, Katt, for
For
coming.
sure.
Yo,
You know, you
welcome.
drove out the way to come
Yeah.
here, so
This
it
took
really means
long,
a lot.
It was long awaited.
yeah. And like we said before we started, like, or like I said before we started, like, you know what I'm saying, it's very admirable to see where you started to come,
Yeah.
like, and where you
Especially,
got to go.
knowing everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Like knowing your real stories. Yeah. You're definitely inspirational. Whenever you come out with your whole story, a lot of people are definitely gonna fuck with that. So,
all right.
stop versing and team. We out this bitch.